Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video this is kind of Halloween. It's aliens. I'm actually going to look at 3 books. I own 1 copy. I borrowed the others from the library, though I had previously read them. I actually read these as a kid. I just reread them as an adult. So this is Aliens for Breakfast by Jonathan Etra and Stephanie Spinner, and the illustrated by Stephen Bjorkman. Probably mispronouncing this. So this book, just as a warning, was published in 1988, which is probably the reason I read it as a kid. It's very, very small. So are the other 2 books. So these 3 books cover a little boy in the picture. What is his name? Richard. His name is Richard. His mother is an attorney. As he kind of helps save the world. So in the first book here, this is Aliens for Breakfast, he comes downstairs. There's a new kid at school who's dressing specifically, typical kids. This kid is cool. His name is, what is his name? It's very, very bizarre. What is it? Dorf. His name is Dorf. So Ranger comes downstairs after not being able to dress like Dorf. And his mother, there's a cereal sample that came in the mail that contained an actual alien, because basically he works for this specific task force to protect the universe, and they're cheap. That's the funny thing, and that's the theme in these books. So let me see if I can find his name. Yes, his name is Aric, A-R-I-C, and he was freeze-dried and put in the cereal container because it was cheaper. And let's see, he is there because, again, it's cheaper. It's like a matter of sense to save the planet, because they have lots and lots of planets to save. So let's see, and he has to save the world from these drains, which obviously the new kid in school is. And these things apparently will, after a matter of days, multiply and then take over the planet. So, problem with being freeze-dried for this alien is he forgets how to defeat them, because it's some sort of thing common in human kitchens. So it takes him a while. He goes to school. Richard starts dissolving because Dorf realizes he's not winning over Richard, because Richard now realizes he's an alien. So, but then they go to the mall and see Richard's friend. I think it's Henry or something. If I can find the name, Henry pops up a couple times in this book series. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the name. I believe it's Henry. He plays more important in the last book. Let's see. Yes, I think his name is Henry. I can find him. Yes, Henry. So, but everybody, they go to the mall. They see Henry with Dorf. And then we see Dorf becoming quite obsessed with red pepper flakes. So that's what kills them. So then Richard spends his entire life saving, which is like $17, it's the 80s, to buy a giant box of red pepper flakes and gives it to Dorf, who then can't. Not only does it kill them, but it's like they're obsessed with it. So they eat until they explode, which is what happens. They can't resist him, and he eats them until he explodes. And that saves the planet. So that is the end of this book. It's very, as you can see, it's very, very small. It's very much there. Yeah, it's 62 pages. So this is meant for young readers. It's very fun. It's very cute. And essentially, you have a young kid who helps saves the world with this tiny little alien that's been freeze-dried from a monster that can die through being killed by red pepper flakes. So that's this book. The next book is Aliens for Lunch. What happens in this book is it's spring break, and neither Richard nor his friend Henry are going anywhere. So they're hanging out, and they go. His mother leaves for some reason. Again, she's an attorney, so she has things to do. And they go downstairs and heat up microwave popcorn, which again pops out the alien. And apparently he drags them off to try to rescue a shipment of what amounts to be, I can't remember what the heck it is, but it makes desserts taste like dessert. So essentially it's sugar. It's a very specific type of sugar that without it, dessert doesn't taste like dessert anymore. So, and it's basically the shipment that's supposed to be going to one planet was hijacked because another planet released theirs too quickly. So apparently it's a slowly released thing. So it's supposed to last thousands of years, and they released it all at once and went crazy. So these people have hijacked this other planet's 1,000-year supply of this stuff. And these two kids, and again, tiny alien, who's been sent to their planet via microwave popcorn, have to essentially save the world, because the planet that's losing out on their sweets are going to attack Earth, because that's the nearest planet. They get captured by the people who kidnapped the ship with the cargo, have to escape, realize celery. Celery is the kryptonite here. So that's what essentially they're able to use to destroy these creatures, by basically scaring them with celery, which is just, again, they're short, they're funny. So they save the world, they get the shipment back to the people they're supposed to be at, and then they get home, and they're given, in the previous book, Richard is given a shirt that he was admiring at the mall, which is, he's very nerdy, so it's some sort of space shirt, or space leather jacket with Space Force written on the back. At least I think that's what it is. Look, this is the first book. Interspace Brigade is what's on the back. And in this book, as a reward, they're given t-shirts that apparently attract women. Yes. But remember, these guys are like 6th grade, so they have no interest in attracting women, and apparently has strange effects on their teacher, which is just kind of funny. So that's the end of the second book. So that's Aliens for Lunch. The final book is Aliens for Dinner. And in this one, again, it's let's see. Our alien is sent there via fortune cookie. So yes, he's in a fortune cookie this time. And Richard is dealing with a little bit his mother's, which is, I find this very strange, lawyer dating a guy who runs a moving van company. So in this case, there's another alien force that's coming to Earth that wants to turn Earth into basically a toxic amusement park. So they're obsessed with oil and pollution, and that's kind of the theme of this book. Is Earth is in this corner of that corner of the galaxy, the most polluted planet, which is sad. I'm not sure it's gotten any better. But again, this is this is late 80s. So the first book came out in 88. This is like early 90s, when these kind of late 80s, early 90s coming out. So Richard, with the help of the alien, has to destroy these things that are encouraging people to, basically it's going to enslave Earth, turn them into basically running this giant amusement park, and pollute it even more with oil and sludge and pollutants and all sorts of stuff. And essentially the trick with killing them here is they don't really kill them, they make them bored stiff. Again, it's a children's book. It's very small. I think it's geared toward like 6th graders. It's funny. Yeah. Not sure it's going to totally go. But yes, it's geared toward 6th graders. So they get the school principal to get all of these, what on earth are they called in this book? No, this is the breakfast book. I got the other ones on my Kindle. I borrowed them from our public library, so they're in digital form. Obviously, I would prefer, if you're going to buy them in physical form. But so these aliens are, essentially they use the school principal to bore them stiff so they can transfer them back to their own planet and determine that Earth is extremely boring and not to come here. And part of it is he assumes, at least at first, because these things also, they have a tendency to say everything twice, that it's his mother's new boyfriend. He's not an alien. He's not there to destroy the world. But they're able to get the school principal to have a conversation at this new chemical plant and bore all these aliens stiff so they can send them back to where they came from and leave Earth alone. So that's the point of Aliens for Dinner. So that's these 3 books. They're not entirely Halloween-y. They're just kind of alien, and they're kind of fun. And there are 3 little, very, very short children's books that are still in print. This one dates just a tad bit because he mentions Captain Kirk. I had to look that up. I'm like, did Next Generation not come out yet? And it had, but it had only been out for like a year or 2. So more kids who would have read this book when it came out would have been familiar with Star Trek with Captain Kirk, which actually only ran for like 4 seasons. Thanks to Lucille Ball, I believe. Yes, all Trekkies must thank the red-haired comedic lady. That's another story. You can look that up. It wasn't full. So Star Trek was basically created by Lucille Ball. But that's the only dated thing in here, though I think I think it's only in this book. Otherwise, it's a fun kind of short science fiction books. They're very, very easy reads. They're very, very short. As I said, this first one is only like 62 pages. As an adult, I read them. They're still fun. They're still cute. They're still fun. I will still share these books with my child, even if they are slightly dated. Though the planet is still not in a great shape. We're still polluting like crazy. Hopefully, we'll get better. But that is it. So if you like this review, I have a bunch more book reviews coming out, films reviews, a lot of Halloween-y stuff, a little bit more fun Halloween-y stuff, some dark classic Halloween-y stuff, various Halloween films throughout this month. And then coming November, we're going to talk about the more serious stuff of looking at Native Americans, and then go back to fun with December. So I also have a bunch of other book reviews, some film reviews, a sprinkling of travel and homeschooling stuff, and none of it's religious. So if you like this review, like and subscribe, and check out the rest of my stuff. Thank you.